Tonight was a special episode of NXT featuring semifinal matches from round 2 matches from the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. We're going to be talking about all of that, and we have a special guest, so join us right now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're losing our sanity here on the AFTERBUZZ TV NXT After Show for November 2nd. I'm one of your hosts, and it's Mark Donica. We're having a hell of a night here at the studio, so thank you for joining us. Joining us tonight, Hobo is out, but we have the Hollywood Heritage Champion, the one, the only, Mr. Pretty Peter Avalon.
Thank you for having me. I'm here to keep it PPA all day. Hopefully.
Oh no, it's working so far.
Good. All night. Yeah, nighttime. No Hobo, so I'm covering for him and me.
You're definitely raising our prettiness quotient by replacing Hobo, because it was like it's low, like in the red, and we're way in the green now.
I'm sure you guys missed the title belt too. So
yes,
we do miss Harriet a little bit,
she's
as
here.
he called it.
Yes, she's lovely.
Harriet makes a return to the AfterBuzz TV studios. Also joining us, of course, the one, the only, Mr. Bill Hanstock.
Hi everybody.
And you can be where can everybody find you on Twitter? Both of y'all, in case they're unfamiliar.
Yeah, Pretty Peter.
You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Pavalon. That's one word, P Avalon. I'm on Facebook and Instagram too. PPA all day on Instagram and Peter Avalon on Facebook.
Isn't Pavalon like when you like hear a bell and your mouth starts watering?
Pavlov response?
Yeah, Peter Pavlov.
It's a completely different one.
And you can find me on Twitter at Sundown Motel. And Mark, where can the people find you?
I'm me on Twitter, Mark Donica. Let's get into the show. We're listening to the sultry sounds of sanity.
Sanity's theme song provided by an old Primus tape that your car is eating.
Seriously, dude, it's munching on it pretty hardcore.
I like it.
So tonight's matches were all a part of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic on their California tour. These were mostly at the...
Well, one of them was at Full Sail.
Yeah, one of them was at... Well, two of them were supposed to be at Wholesale, and then we got a rude awakening from Revival. Yeah, they were available wholesale,
wholesale.
at Full Sail. I just don't get... Thank you. Not you too. Not you too. Which we'll find out later tonight. One of the... We got a couple of pieces of sad news. NXT's been going on a lot of tours, and as a result, a lot of people have been getting injured. We found out tonight. We found out tonight that Scott Dawson is suffering from a knee injury. Almost every terrible thing you could happen to your knee, supposedly.
Split his patella, tore his meniscus.
In half his patella.
Yeah, it's gone. Broke his femur in 3 places.
Stretched his ACL, almost tore his MCL.
Stretched his Armstrong.
Yeah, a little bit. Damn it. And Austin Aries got...
They did an x-ray of my leg, and I just got a bunch of creepy crawlers in there.
It's just wax bones, but they're like... tie-dye. And Austin Aries has a broken eye hole because Shinsuke Nakamura kicked him in the face.
That was the technical term he called it too.
Yes.
I think it's eye hole.
Hey, he's been in the business a long time.
Yeah.
I trust his opinion a little bit more than actual doctors.
Yes.
Yeah. That man's been through a lot. So, Peter, how hard is it to stay 100, quote-unquote 100%? With such a rigorous schedule?
It's hard. I've had my eye hole blasted too, and it's ridiculous.
What's the worst injury that you've had so far?
I broke my forearm. I had to have surgery on my wrist here. I had to have surgery to put a plate in and a plate
you got the
taken
Lex
out.
Luger shit going?
Yeah.
They took it back out, though.
Where are my keys? They did take it out,
So you can't do the illegal forearm.
No, but I have a cool keychain now out of it, so it's like...
Oh, you made your arm... Oh, wow.
I had holes in it already, so I decided to keep it as a nice
That
keychain.
rules. That's amazing.
That's metal as hell.
How you did it.
Oh, I did it doing a frog splash. I pulled an Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he ruined his elbow.
Oh, yeah, no,
ruined
we all remember that clip.
Yeah, so
It
did
haunts
that.
our dreams.
That was probably my worst one, was that. And then
You told me one time you got thrown into like a air conditioner or something.
Kevin Martinson, formerly Johnny Goodtime, is one of the strongest human beings in the world, if you guys haven't realized.
I'm familiar with Kmart.
Yeah, Kmart's he's an incredible wrestler, but he's so strong, and he gorilla pressed me over the announce table at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and threw me into the wall, which had an air vent there. The air vent's still bent, and we still ran out of that theater. It ruined my back for a little bit. And that's how I also got this beautiful scar above my eyebrow, was Kmart threw a chair at my face. Me and Kevin are close.
Good,
He is
good
one.
friends.
He is one of the most intense people down there at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
He's incredible, and man, it's a crime that he's not other places too.
Is it because he injured you so much that he had to change his name away from Good Time?
I hope, maybe.
Wrestle me for a good time, unless you want to end up
Yeah.
terribly
There was no
injured.
good time. It was false advertising.
Speaking of false advertising, it was advertised that we were going to get a tag team match in San Jose, which was going to be Roderick Strong and Austin Aries versus TM61. But because of Austin Aries' broken eye hole, he was not cleared to compete and asked TM61 to forfeit the match. This brings out William Regal, which he suggested, why don't we have a singles match to determine who will advance in the tournament? So Shane Thorne steps up from TM61, and we have a very, very physical match with, it seemed like each strike was increasing in strength and intensity, and to the point of grossness, as I say. What was some highlights from this match? What did you guys like from this one?
I liked that knee from Shane Thorne, or it was from Roderick, right?
Yeah, Roderick to
blasted
Right in the nose.
Shane's entire face off, almost broke his eye hole.
I think that was in response to Shane almost breaking Roderick's eye hole with that huge drop kick.
Stood on his face. Man.
It was
I'm very glad.
remarkable.
I'm very glad that this is the matchup they went with, because Nick Miller already looks like Roderick Strong's dad.
So this one you
Except
get a
he's
nice
not an Elvis
separation of that.
impersonator.
Thorne, he tried to use his agility, but got cut off thanks to Austin Aries, who maintained his presence throughout the entire thing. But he couldn't get hit because he wasn't. That was one of my favorite things. Anytime someone corners, like, can't hit me. Yeah. Nope, not good for you. Roderick hits a top rope backbreaker on the top turnbuckle, which sort of set everything back to even scales. Then the dropkick came and just it slowed things down a little bit. But it was an interference from Austin, which led to Nick Miller trying to fight Austin off, which led to Roderick diving against Miller, which led to a roll-up, which got TM61 the win, and they're advancing now in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Crazy.
Yeah.
And that San Jose crowd, not as crazy as it was back at WrestleMania, but we got you. We're here. We see you.
So TM61 is on to the semifinals.
Yes, they are.
Team Will-O-Wisp.
Team Will-O-Wisp. Man after my own heart. He's like, isn't that a Pokemon move? Yes! Thank you! It's a Pokemon move! That Ghost Fire. The Australian Ghost Fire.
Australian Ghost Fire.
Man. It's so dumb. But remember, Pokemon Sun and Moon comes out November 18th at your local gaming retailer.
That's a good point.
Anyway, I'm good at those.
So we're all picking the owl to start with, right?
I think so.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Got a
All
little
about it.
leaf bow tie.
It's adorable.
Though I will say, the Fire Cat turns into a pro wrestler.
That's kinda
Which
cool.
is kind of cool. He's got
Turns
like a
into
fire
Lindsay
belt.
Dorado.
Kyle,
Hey guys,
guys.
thanks for picking me.
he's got his teeth in front of his mouth. Thanks, guys.
Wait, what's the owl's name?
I forget.
Alioto or something?
I forget.
It's probably, they're not,
Don't.
the names are always
Not
dumb.
creative.
They're pretty great.
Owlboy.
I said Owlboy. Team Owlboy.
Like there's just a bunch of guys at the Pokemon factory like, this one's a friggin' owl. We'll call him Owlo. Let's go. Hey, on to the next one. That's lunch.
Damn it. I want to look it up. Let's see if I already know
Yeah, I
this
want
word.
an Owlo.
Hey, this next one's a friggin' seal.
Yolo.
Sealty. All right, there we go.
Well, no,
Hey.
they called the seal one seal.
SEEL?
Yeah, but that's the difference.
Right.
It evolves into a dugong. Figure it out.
Right.
I wonder what it looks like.
Wait, what's the owl called?
It's not
Hoot.
Well, there is Hoot Hoot, and there's Hoot Hoot evolves into Noctowl. Rowlet is the new one.
Rowlet.
Rowlet. This is the little leaf bow tie. This reminds me so much about wrestling, so let's keep talking about it.
Yeah. Well, Pokemon. What is wrestling if not Pokemon?
Pokemon. And you know what? To that point, all the folks at NXT do want to be the very best, like no one ever was. Back in Full Sail, we've got DIY out for their rematch against the Revival, and that's where we find out about Scott Dawson's injury, and they have to pull out of the Classic. But they want Dash Wilder wants DIY to consider it a gift. They have a free pass to the next round, and we wait on this feud. Does that serve it? I think that this helps them out a little bit more than if we saw the payoff again for their round 3, because we have to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean,
What do y'all
like
think?
also like round two is way too early for that gigantic Revival versus DIY rematch that we're all waiting for anyway. So, you know, things are set up pretty well now for DIY to potentially win the entire Dusty, and then
come at them with that.
Then they can, you know, be like,
Tag
we're
title match.
definitely the number one contenders now.
Yeah.
I think they could also do. You could put the cup versus the titles. So Dawson can come in. They do that all the time. they did it with the PP3 Cup. Brain. Eric Watts didn't win it.
Right.
He didn't win it from the tournament. He won it after the fact.
Yeah.
So the Money in the Bank briefcase they've done that with previously as well, where they've put that up as an additional sort of title.
Is that what
So-
does this thing? If you win the cup, can you do you get a title shot with it? Is that
Not
what it-
necessarily, because
Right.
last year it wasn't won by a regular tag team. It was Joe and Finn. Yeah. So if it's a quote unquote actual tag team, who knows? Possibly.
But does that mean, like, if DIY puts the cup up, then if Revival wins the cup, then they have retroactively won the tournament?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think before they etch the name on it, he's like, wait. Before we get there,
you had to defend it once.
Yeah. Got to defend it once. You want these titles, right? We'll put them on the line if you put up the whole cup.
Give me them boots.
Give me a damn boots. Where are we at next? I lost it. I was bringing up news. There we are. In the back, we were with Cedric Alexander, and he says that he learned from Cien Almas that you need a mean streak in this business, but he's ready anytime to fire back at him. A really short backstage promo from Cedric Alexander. And then we get an interview with DIY, to which, what emoji do you think will measures our level of surprise? Of course, it's the flat face.
Yeah.
They should have done the nail painting one.
or like the 10.
Yeah,
that would be a
is
perfect
twins.
opportunity for Ty Dillinger to pop
yeah.
through. This is a really weird promo.
Yeah.
They're kind of speaking how we're feeling.
Yeah,
They're just using really bizarre wording to do so.
Yeah.
Like Grandpa Chompy just being like, I don't like the Revival.
Those emojins. What emoji am I? Yeah.
He's like the drunk uncle on SNL. Everyone's tweeting. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat.
Instabook or my twit face. And I got a better term for you. Grandpa. Tommaso Grandpa.
Grandpa Champa.
Grandpa Champa.
Grandpa.
Grandpa Champa.
Poppy Chompy.
Poppy.
There it is.
Pop Chomps. That gray streak, I agree with you, Bill, is not doing him any favors. We are back.
Let me tell you something, Revival. Come on, sit on Pep's lap, and they'll give you a Werther's original.
Pep Chimp.
Yeah.
Why not? Just make it worse. We're just making it worse.
And then Gammy Gargi.
Gammy. Let's keep making fun of the person with the moniker Psycho Killer. Back in San Jose, we've got Swan and Jose versus the Authors of Pain. There was a major size disadvantage at this because Rich Swan is a huge individual.
Wait, was it? This one was in San Jose?
This one was in San Jose.
No Way Jose in San Jose?
In San Jose.
Nice.
He's over.
No way.
No way.
I think they were all about it. What were some highlights of yours from this match?
No way, Jose.
Just in general?
Just his
So good.
existence.
He's great.
I love him.
And Rich Swan, of course,
Yeah.
being wonderful.
The two of them together is one of my favorite
very
last-minute pairings.
Yeah.
Very good dynamic, very good team.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see that continue. If they're pushing heavy that Rich Swan is he's on Raw. This is a part of the cruiserweight division. It's like you could, and Jose's got a big future for him, I think, as a singles competitor.
Yeah.
But them as a tag team, if they ever want to revisit it, could.
I think
really
I think they make the most sense of any of the makeshifts tag teams.
Dancing guys. Yeah.
Oh, Beef Boys.
Beef Boys.
Yeah, Beef Boys are Dozer and Tucker Knight,
Yeah.
but I think they're just a tag team now.
Well, I support that wholeheartedly.
It's a good name.
But they also, I would say, Bin Wang and Ho Ho Lun make sense.
That's just racist.
Why? One's from Hong Kong, one's from China.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay. Why do they make sense together?
Yeah.
because Ho Ho Lun was his translator.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
I think my favorite part of
This
this
got really
was
weird.
during the entrance when Rich Swan does like the outsider's point and is just waiting for No Way Jose's music to hit.
I wish
And
there.
then it finally comes and he gets really excited.
It's like,
That
oh,
was
I
great.
didn't know until the beat dropped that it was No Way Jose. It could have been anybody.
Oh, I watched a YouTube clip the other day that was like Davey Richards versus Eddie Edwards, and it was super weird because they both just had they didn't have individual music.
Yeah.
And so they both just had the American Wolves entrance and stuff. So like Davey Richards came out and then he like just stood to the side and like started clapping. And then they just kept playing the song and then Eddie Edwards came out. And like walked down to the ring together.
All right. Awesome.
No, just walk down together and then just pose,
Yeah.
shake hands, and that's it.
Ha.
They're still a team.
Yep, they're
Come
friends.
on.
Good old pals.
It's real
Pal
silly.
friends.
I want to see like the part in Street Fighter like before the guys are like
Before the pose, before
yeah,
they fade
like
up.
them like coming in. You know?
Like who writes
like
the same
does
card
Blanca,
together?
does Blanca come out of that little building? Like where
I mean, if we're talking about Brazil, he's probably just coming visiting his mom. Probably just, hey mom, drop me off. I got a fight at 8. Come on. This guy's flying in
Come
from
on,
America.
Mom.
You know, Mom, I'm fighting Ken Masters today. Oh, Blanca.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I'm so proud.
You're doing it.
I'm so,
the
so
power's
glad
out
of my
again.
mutant son.
Why wouldn't you be? Power goes out, you have somebody to fix it instantly.
Yes.
Why not? You got a portable battery in a
That's right.
child.
They're like, oh, the power has gone out again, Blanca. Come in here and vibrate.
Bend over and vibrate.
Come in here, crouch, and then hit your light punch a bunch of times.
Here I am, Dad. Here for you.
This is what happens.
can
Peter,
al-
this is what happens on the show. Is we just go to a flipping place and it's great.
Papa Chompy can always count on you, Blanca.
Papa Chomp.
Gammy Gargi. Gammy Gargi.
Papa Chomp.
We're not talking about pump chumps. Swan and Jose seemed to be there for the roar of the crowd, but the Authors of Pain were there for one thing, and that was destruction. Jose tried to make up for the power difference, but just couldn't. He even leapt off the top rope to take down Akam and Razor, but couldn't do it. They hit the final chapter. Authors of Pain are advancing to the semifinals of the Dusty Rhodes tournament.
As we all sort of anticipated.
Do you think so?
Well, I mean, like we've been talking for weeks about like who's going to be the people who can take out the Authors of Pain.
Yeah, they'll probably make it to the finals. I mean, maybe.
Well, no, it might not because they're on the same side of the. Or is DIY
I think DIY and
TM61?
no, they are with Authors of Pain. They are fighting Authors of Pain. And I believe, and no spoilers, anybody watching, I believe that match happened in Los Angeles.
Oh, cool.
As well as DIY versus Sanity also happened in Los
For once,
Angeles.
I don't know what happened.
Good. We'll all be surprised.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then we get a sweet reminder of who Mickie James is. If, for those of you who aren't familiar, don't have the network, even though you're watching the network, why don't you go look up who Mickie James is? Because she's going to be fighting Asuka.
Isn't it crazy, but also like super awesome that there's like 6 or 8 or 10-year-old kids that like watch NXT every week and like have no idea who Mickie James is?
I think it's pretty great.
cool.
It's weird, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there are also the people who are watching Lita on all of the pre-shows and are like, oh, she's really cool. Oh, she used to be a wrestler. What?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
well, it's like when we were kids and we were like, Gorilla Monsoon used to wrestle. Like,
Yeah.
That's true.
just like we kind of got the tail end of Jesse Ventura, but
Yeah.
like you know all those announcers were like
Yeah.
Gorilla Monsoon.
Macho, I could believe, used to be a wrestler. I mean, that was right at the tail of my viewing, but you go, oh, yeah, he used to wrestle. Sure, I totally believe that. Piper, all of those folks.
You're like Savage used to wrestle, and then you turn over to WCW, and you're like, oh, he's wrestling.
I still
now.
wrestle.
We still wrestle.
That's him.
We actually got, on Xbox 12360 today, we had Lanny Poffo on.
That's awesome.
It was super cool. He told us a story that I don't think anybody has ever heard about Macho Man before he left, wanting one last run, and he wanted one more match to be remembered by, aside from him and Steamboat. And he wanted to build a 2-year feud with Shawn Michaels, ending at WrestleMania. A Macho Man Shawn Michaels match almost happened.
Hey, Vince, just real quick before I go, I want to do a 2-year period.
Well, no, that's kind of what made him leave. And we go on it a little bit more in the interview, so make sure to check it out. But Lenny was awesome to talk to, and he remembered all of his poetry off top, which
Oh no, he knows poetry.
remarkable. He's like, yeah, I told this one and he just recited it, and it's like, how do you still know all of these?
He's still brilliant.
He's
Every
a
time
genius.
every time I talk to him, he like recites a poem to me.
He's a beautiful man.
He is a good guy.
Yeah.
He is the genius,
is
full of glory and renown.
God, I love your impressions, Bill. So if you're not familiar with Mickie James's work, first of all, stop watching the show, where it's okay, we'll give you this one pass. Go watch some Mickie James work from the WWE, even some of her stuff from
The other place.
that other place in Florida. That you have no idea what.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think your cousin Norv.
Cousin Norv, yeah.
has been down there.
I think so. He likes
Possibly.
Florida.
Maybe. Our main event of the evening is T.J. Perkins and Kota Ibushi versus Sanity for the last spot in the semifinals for the Dusty Rhodes Classic. This, for a group called Sanity, this was a pretty crazy match. And it's not just hyperbole. I really think that TJ and Kota were thrown off completely by these two. I mean,
Hey, nobody told us the other team could cheat.
we were. Hey, what
Dirty
cheat,
pull,
what cheat
mister.
codes are you using this round?
These guys are using a game genie, ref.
Game Shark.
They boosted their stats, ref.
God mode.
That's a really spot on TJ Perkins. Like perfect.
Yeah.
That's like classic Pinoy boy.
I can't let you win, Kendrick.
So good. Whoa, hit pause on this whole situation.
Oh, could you imagine if you went pause, and then just everybody just. No, that's a little bit too PWG.
Well, I lost my match. Somebody better take me out and blowing me.
Oh my God! Damn it, Bill. You come back from that. You don't. That's our show. What were some of your guys' favorite moments from this match? The one
with the
Sanity,
Sanity,
TJ Perkins,
Sanity
and
cheating.
Kota Ibushi.
Sanity cheating, I guess, was cool.
Yeah.
What did you think of their mind games? Biting on the rope, the
creepy.
tag rope.
That's gross.
A little gross.
That's
You
the
don't
first
know
thing
where
it says. That's gross. Yeah, that's a gross rope. It's gross.
A lot
If
of-
you
lot of
bite
people
a
hitting
tag
that.
rope, you're biting everyone that tag rope's
Yuck.
ever been with.
Yeah,
That's a huge implication.
that's gross.
That's really gross.
Yeah.
No, not.
Alexander Wolf's gonna have like warts on his mouth.
Their
Probably.
tag team finisher is still super awesome.
Yeah, the vertical power slam.
Yeah.
Big fan of it. I think the fact that TJ Perkins was sort of thrown at Kota Ibushi as a replacement partner at the last minute shows sort of why they couldn't quite gel together. And they're not moving on, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we're still getting a lot of Kota Ibushi, it seems. He was at the LA show. And just, especially for somebody who's not signed, to still have his stamp on the WWE product is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
So we have our semifinalists. We have TM61 taking on Sanity, as we mentioned. Authors of Pain taking on DIY. Those matches we presume are going to be next week because we got TakeOver coming up pretty soon.
Well, I think I had heard that it's possible that the semifinals and finals are going to be on TakeOver.
No, that they've shot the semifinals
okay.
were shot at Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
okay.
All right, then.
We said it
Okay.
a little while ago.
Wow.
Well,
Awkward.
oops.
They could have been non-tournament matches. Just like every
Just
other
preview
WWE, before the pay-per-view, we're going to show you the match.
Mm-hmm. That's why almost every main event on the California tour was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Samoa Joe. It wasn't, but they fought a lot after the fact. Just after each of their matches, they just kept it going. So far we have the finals of the Dusty Classic. We have we don't have a tag team match, presuming that Scott Dawson is still going to be hurt by the time Toronto rolls around. We have the women's match. So who do you guys like in Mickie James versus Asuka?
Asuka.
Yeah, I like Asuka too, but we were just talking about this.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Mickie too, but
I think it's going to be awesome.
yeah,
I think
it's gonna be
great.
awesome.
So if they're starting to bring in Legends talent from Asuka in order to
fight
face
Asuka.
Asuka, who else would you want to see either come out of retirement or people who are still working? People coming from all around the world, like the equivalent of a Jushin Thunder Liger, come out to
man.
fight Asuka.
I'm going to go with Bull Nakano.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be sweet.
Could they bring back other divas like Ivory or?
Yeah, no, they can bring
Dude,
back
yeah.
whoever
Yeah,
they
that'd be
want.
kind of cool.
Oh, Ivory.
I would love
Ivory's
to.
dope. Yeah,
I would.
that'd be cool.
I'd feel super bad for. I feel bad for anybody who's in the ring with Asuka just because she's.
Well, because, like we said, they
she's
originally
dope.
wanted Trish to be the person.
Yeah,
to,
because of
would be
Toronto,
cool.
they wanted her to be super heely,
Yeah.
and beat up a national hero essentially.
Yeah,
But
Ivory
then she
would
would
be
have beat
great.
up a pregnant national hero, and that would have gone a little bit too far.
Maybe.
Ivory would be great. Beth Phoenix would be great.
Yeah, Beth would be cool. Is she Canadian? She's Canadian. Or is
Are
she
we talking about just Canadians or women we'd like to
Just
see?
women you'd like to see fight Asuka, because I don't think Bull
Jazz.
Nakano.
Jazz?
Jazz, yeah.
Jazz would be cool.
Oh, Victoria.
Victoria
Oh
would be
yeah,
cool.
that's a great pick.
Yeah, Victoria.
She's
would be cool.
great.
She's great.
She's
Lisa
still around.
Mary's-
She's out
She's
here.
just sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't she just open a restaurant out here?
I'm not
She's
sure.
planning to. I think.
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
She has
Well,
the
no,
one in
she-
Chicago.
Yeah, she's planning to open another one out here, though. I think.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because she was just at Comic-Con with Jervis and
Yeah.
Shad Gaspar, and yeah.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a sweet panel. Now we're just shooting the breeze. How y'all doing?
Good. Hanging out.
So, not to sort of break the wall a little bit, but you said you haven't been watching NXT. You're not as up with NXT as the other shows, Peter.
Yeah.
What is there something about NXT that you look forward to as a viewer and as a professional wrestler? Like, what is it that separates the two?
The specials catch me more than anything. Like, I'll watch all the specials, but I'm not. I don't watch all the lead up to it and all the shows. I miss them. But I don't know. I don't know what draws me into it. It's just like I guess just the way they put it on. It's just a big event, and it's different than what anything else WWE's putting on. So it's nice to see a WWE product presented way different than the rest of their other stuff. You know.
Do you think it's good that the quote-unquote main roster shows aren't sort of tailoring to that audience, that they're trying to split their audiences so that there is something for everybody? Or do you... Yeah.
I see. I like that they kind of do that. I see that they're trying to do that also with Raw and SmackDown. Like, it has their own thing. Raw and SmackDown's filmed differently and stuff like that. So it's like, I like that they're trying to do that.
Yeah, at this point, like Raw and SmackDown, like definitely have really different feels.
Totally different feels to them. Yeah, and so it's its own thing. So WWE is becoming just the spot for wrestling, and then they're trying to offer you different kinds of wrestling, but it's all at the end of the day the same product. You know, it's an illusion of different wrestling.
And it'll be interesting to see, they just announced today the 205 Live, which is their cruiserweight show that's
Is
going
that
to
what
be
it's called?
following SmackDown. Yeah. 205 Live. As of right now, it's called 205 Live. Instead of WWE's cruiserweight presentation of, whatever. Because they want to get it. They don't want it to be a new cruiserweight classic. Raw has the cruiserweight division, so they're trying to make it. I think they're just making a purple brand.
Did you watch any of the Cruiserweight Classic?
I did. Grand Metalik, I thought stole the show for me, and he was my favorite out of all the ones in there. And then I thought it was awesome that he was one of the final two. So
Grand Metalik, I think, blew a lot of people away.
I'm surprised. Where's he been? Like, why has he not been
In Mexico.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of a big deal in Mexico.
Yeah, I know. He is. He's Mascara Dorada.
Yeah.
But I thought he would be touring, doing the 6-man matches and stuff like that with Raw.
He's
I thought he was signed.
supposedly like in the process of moving his family to Mexico. He is signed.
Right.
Moving his family to the States
Oh,
from
okay.
Mexico. So that takes a little bit of time.
Because he was on the.
But he'll be back.
He was on the
Makes
debut
sense.
Yeah.
of the cruiserweights.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've
On
seen him
Raw,
since.
Yeah.
You're under 205 these days, right?
Yeah.
A little bit, just barely. Then I can't.
204.5.
Can't believe that they never tapped you for the.
Me
Cruiserweight
too.
Classic.
I'm looking at this camera. I'm looking at this camera. I'm looking at you. They don't want me to win. That's why.
That's what it is. They don't want somebody
They don't
in
want
with
a
with
ringer.
their own.
They don't want. Yeah, I would just plow through everyone. I'm so heavy.
They want it to be obvious.
I don't. Well, maybe Saber, but other than Saber, I don't think anyone that was in the Cruiserweight Classic was like a current title holder anywhere.
I don't think so.
The
they were
Bollywood
probably-
boys, weren't they?
They were probably intimidated.
They
Yeah,
were
but I
too
mean,
intimidated.
TFW.
I mean, that's still a title, though.
Sure.
You didn't say respected.
Oh, damn, dude.
No,
See, that was way worse than what I said.
Whoa.
No, you didn't. I did. Totally respected title.
Yeah.
It's the Mountain Dew Green. Speaking of championship titles, though, you have right there in front of you, if in case you're not watching us live on YouTube, or so to speak, you have the Championship Wrestling from Hollywood Heritage Championship.
Yes.
Tell us about your journey to this title.
Well, I was on this current incarnation of Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. We've been on about longer than 5 years, going on 6 years. More than 6 years now. We just had our 6th year anniversary. What am I talking about? But I was on the very first episode in the very first match in a losing effort to Colt Cabana. I just got my butt whipped. And then I stayed and I fought. I was in rising to the top in groups with Adam Pearce, Austin Aries, Joey Chaos, and then moving on to other groups with like Ray Rosas and Rico Dynamite, and just moving my way up and fighting guys bigger than me, and just fighting, and then 5 years later, I beat Yuma for the Heritage title. I just fight and claw my way to the top. I'm not the biggest dog in the fight. What's that cliche? I'm not the biggest dog in the fight, but you know,
I'm the meanest. Or
something. Biggest,
That's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog.
That one, yeah. And
ask McFoley, he could explain it.
Yeah, ask McFoley about dogs.
And not
Thank
too
you,
long
Jimbo.
ago, you defended this belt against Colt Cabana successfully.
Yes. So that was like a
all came full circle.
a nice full circle thing. He came, challenged for the belt, and I beat him. So we're 1-1, me and Colt.
we're going for that third.
Got a
We'll
rubber
see.
match
We'll
coming.
see.
Oh boy.
Get your rubbers
Cabana,
on.
Boom, boom.
So, let's talk about your cousin Norv.
What's he been up to?
So you-
No, I don't know.
Just hanging out at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Just running around, being a goof. I don't talk to him.
So
such a nerd.
Nerd, dude.
while you hold this championship for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, what other promotions have you worked for?
I just recently came back from the East Coast. I had my debut in Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW. They just joined up with us at the United Wrestling Network, so we're doing business there. And I went over there and defended my championship against Shane Strickland. I'm still champion, so. I've also just came back from Chicago, debuted for Freelance Wrestling out there. Beautiful organization, up and coming, using the best talent from all over, and I'm really happy to be a part of them, and I'm hoping to help them grow. And then I've just been helping the United Network expand. We just started a show in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, called Championship Wrestling from Arizona, which we're actually going to have a show on Saturday where I'll be defending the Hollywood Heritage title out there.
Against whom?
Against Will Cuevas, a Northern California spectacular wrestler. And then just Hollywood. So.
Then didn't they just announce Championship Wrestling from Tennessee as well?
We are doing Tennessee. I think they just called it that. Yeah, we're still in the process of everything with the name and a bunch of whole other stuff. But yeah, we are working on Tennessee, and then we're trying to get Combat Zone up more with their television show.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's good.
yeah. No, we got good stuff happening. We got other locations that are looking to pop up, including international spots in maybe Europe and stuff like that. So United Network is doing big things, and I'm happy to be in the middle of it.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Lots of stuff happening.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Is the
Really
Patreon
exciting.
still up?
We do have a Patreon. We're slowly but surely working on getting onto other stuff so we can get our material out there easier, for all you guys.
Because you've been on the Fight TV network for a couple of months at this
We're on the
point.
Fight TV network, yeah. We're on there and Patreon, so that's where you can find both of our stuff. But we're trying to get on better things.
More TV.
Yeah.
That it is remarkable seeing the amount, the reach that I see from the Championship Wrestling from Hollywood Twitter and all of the social that goes out. I've been friends with Hobo for years, so watching his journey and then watching as well the journey of Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. I'm big fan of PP Ray.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so one of the best tag team matches that I've ever seen was with you and Ray.
Thank you.
I forgot who you were against, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I was like, it was when you carried somebody to the back who got hurt.
Oh yeah.
And then bolted from the back and stopped the 2 count. And I was
Yeah.
just like, this is the greatest thing ever. It was so
remember
much
that
fun.
one, yeah.
Yeah. You know how to put in a good match. We're really happy to have you here.
Thank you. It's fun.
Please come back anytime.
Sure.
Before we go, people were kind of ragging on us that we missed a big piece of news from last week, so let's hit a really quick AfterBuzz TV news.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Who knew? There were some signings last week at the WWE Performance Center. A couple of folks.
Okay, they gave us a hard time, even though Hobo and I clearly covered the 3 most important ones the week before.
Yes, you did. They had confirmed it, but it looks like I brought up the wrong thing because I only have
Sweet.
the one of the big
Performance
3.
Center signed 9 people: Tommy and Nikki Cross. No, not Nikki.
Mary
Tommy
Dobson.
and Big Damo and
Crazy Mary Dobson.
and then there's 6 other people that you never heard of before. So great.
They're prominent athletes in their fields that are trying something new. I will say, Mandy Rose. In WWE Bakersfield on Saturday, she was a fitness model, making the transfer on Tough Enough. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know how far she was going to make it, and she had a women's championship match on Saturday against Asuka, and it was super entertaining. She
great.
knows her character, and she knows her way around a ring.
She's always shown so much promise, and it, as always, Miz was right.
It's starting to show because right now we have more people on tour and on TV than the two people who won the thing. Because Dario Baronato as well.
The crazy thing is, like, Mandy's probably going to be around longer than Paige.
Possibly. That's it's yet to be seen. I guess we'll find out
That's
more on this
purely
season of Total Divas. Yeah, it's purely conjecture. But we saw amazing stuff from Patrick Clark at the live show as well. And he did a triple threat with Oni Lorcan, still looking for his roots apparently, and Roderick Strong. And that was very athletic, very entertaining, and Patrick was the highlight because he brought the character, the WWE character part of it.
And I'm sure Motto is also there doing things, right?
Motto was not there.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, very bizarre.
Maybe
but we
he's
have
also looking for his roots.
possibly. There are three tough enough folks on the live show circuit, and more, I believe, and whoever else they have, I think, is doing the Florida live shows. But Daria's in the California tour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we got to see her
awesome.
before she left,
Very
which
cool.
is very cool. She loves and remembers her AfterBuzz TV family and sends her thanks. So make
She's
sure you
so
follow her
great.
at Tough Daria.
She's cool.
Yeah, super cool.
Just now WWE just needs to sign Shayna Baszler, and then
We'll see.
I'm sure they'll get around to it
I'm
eventually.
sure eventually, maybe.
I mean, every couple of months they're signing 9-10 people.
What's up with Shayna and Matt Riddle being so effing good at professional wrestling,
don't
like
know.
within like a year of them
they
like getting into it?
Oh, well, the transition. I mean, they're already kind of doing that stuff. Yeah, if you
But
know
it's
what I mean?
such a different skill set.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean,
There's
like,
so many dudes who've gone from MMA to like Daniel Pewter, like
yeah,
Sylvester Takai.
yeah. But then you get a guy like a Kurt Angle, you know.
or Ken Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock goes,
No, that's
but it's like I don't know.
Pretty good reference.
I think people maybe just some get it, some don't. The transition, like the physical transition.
well,
you know what I
but
mean?
like and I'm not saying this is a slight on anyone, but like the vast majority of people who are in MMA have like no personality at
Yeah,
all,
yeah.
like just none.
Right.
They just like fight because like that's what they're good at and that's what they like to do.
It's a lot of sports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like you can be a really athletic, super athletic.
Yeah.
But that doesn't translate to pro wrestling at all.
No, but that's what I mean. Like they already
Because
have.
wrestling's the least important part of wrestling.
They already have the physical aspect
Yeah.
of it, so they could just kind of tweak that to transition into wrestling. So some people just get that better than some people. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
That was
It's a very entertaining conversation. on
Shayna's
my end.
awesome. Shayna's awesome.
Shayna's
Yeah, we
so
just
cool.
the Q Pro show that we did was she's awesome.
There's a lot of great folks out there on the indie circuit that WWE is keeping their eye on. And if you listen to the rumors, they're trying to stream more and more of the independent productions, of the independent shows. So support your local wrestling show, please. If you see any sort of show, regardless of what you may think they might be, you never know when you might be surprised, so go support them. That's why, despite having a full-time job and being here every day, every Sunday when Championship Wrestling from Hollywood is recording, anytime I get an opportunity, I go down to try to help support. Especially, it makes it easier because it's free.
It is.
Absolutely. That's another thing, is you never know how much you may have to pay, but go out and support your local
You
wrestling.
always know how much you could pay at Championship Wrestling.
That's right.
And that's nothing, and you get a good show despite that.
Top quality.
And if you for some reason haven't seen a lot of Pretty Peter Avalon, look him up.
Please.
I've been a huge fan ever since the first time I saw you at PWG
thank you.
live and in person. Me and my friend were both like, this guy.
Thank you.
Because just like, you know, like so much of what you, especially in that era, so much of what you saw at PWG was just like moves.
Yeah.
But you and Joey Ryan, I think, were like the only people on the show who like have a character and like are doing a thing.
Yeah.
And it's so important in wrestling
Yeah.
to be doing that.
I
To
agree.
cover that aspect of it, but you also bring it in the ring. You got the goods.
Yeah, I
you
try.
get the whole package. So if you haven't seen his package, go look him up, and then tweet at WWE. Tell them to keep their eye on this guy. Email Kenyon Seaman.
And that's Seaman at WWEcorp.com. I mean, so, Pretty Peter, he could say he brings total nonstop action.
I try to.
He tries to.
I make an impact.
Others might say.
Some people say you're just a big turkey.
Oh, my cousin is.
This was a lot of fun, Peter. I hope you come back soon.
Yes, please.
Before we go, though, let the folks know where they can find you once more on social media and promote any other shows that you may have aside from Arizona.
All right.
Including Arizona.
I will replug twitter.com/Pavalon, facebook.com/Peter Avalon, Instagram and Snapchat PPA. all day. PeterAvalon.com is my website. I have an official one, guys. I'm professional sometimes.
And you're also on Pro Wrestling Tees, right?
I'm on Pro Wrestling Tees. I think it's / Peter Avalon. I link it on my actual website. I'll be in Tucson, Arizona on Saturday the 5th for Championship Wrestling from Arizona. We're filming at the Desert Diamond Casino at 1 o'clock. Come out. It's $20. And then on the next Sunday after that, it's the 14th? 13th, thank you. It's a Championship Wrestling from Hollywood in Port Hueneme. That's a free show. It's going to be awesome. I defend my championship belt against Bad Dude Tito.
Oh, that's gonna be a little rough.
Yeah, he's bad.
Yeah, he's a bad boy.
Bad dude.
Who knew?
Would you say he's a bad hombre?
Yeah, bad.
I wouldn't, Bill. Where can folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Sunday Motel. You can check out my writing at uprocks.com/sports and withspandex.com. Make sure you're checking out withspandex.com for all your pro wrestling needs. This week, the best and worst of WCW retro column is WCW Uncensored 1997. Amazing write-up of an amazing show by the amazing Brandon Stroud. So check that out and watch my movies on Netflix. And also, I uploaded all of our assets to the PS4 network.
Mm-hmm. So, if you remember, we have a contest going on for the Comic-Con exclusive blind bag art from the upcoming Boom Comics. So if you want to enter, create your best version of the NXT team. That is Hobo Bill and myself. All you have to do...
You can create Peter, too.
You can create Peter. Yeah, create Peter.
Me too, please.
All you have to do is
make sure that you
on,
give him his real moves, the F5, the jackhammer, the
choke slam,
emerald flosion,
slice bread number 2.
it's just all choke slams. Like
choke slams.
every button just does the
My
usual.
default is Kane's presets.
Stepping over the top rope.
Super pedigree. Just stepping through the rope. All you have to do is go to Logo Downloader, search for NXT Team, and you will be able to find anything that is on Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
On PS4, you might have to search for Sundown Motel, which is my...
You didn't put ads? That's okay.
I didn't see a space where you could add.
That's fine. So look for Sundown Motel. Look for Soapbox Mark D. That is my user ID on Xbox. Also follow me on Twitter at Mark Donica. Go listen to the Lanny Poffo episode of Xbox 12360. Awesome interview. It's a little long, but it's worth every single bit. A lot of great stories about himself, about his dad, about Randy, of course. Please go check it out. And also, we have a big announcement coming soon from AfterBuzz TV. So please stay tuned to my Twitter. Stay tuned to AfterBuzz TV's Twitter account. We're moving and shaking here at AfterBuzz TV. But for everybody here at the table, we'd like to thank you for watching. We will see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Not necessarily reflect the nailed it. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.